Welcome to the Security Guard Show with Shep and Pitt, where we share stories about our experiences in the security industry and provide tips that might help you in your career as a security professional. This show is sponsored by Enterprise Security Consulting and Training Incorporated. And now, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Security Guard Show. I'm Shep, and you see Pitt there taking off his glasses. And oh, that's the wrong graphic. Okay, let me figure out. Okay, here's the right graphic. There we go. The Security Guard Show. Welcome. So here we are on our first outing as the podcast, and we're going to talk a little bit about what the show is about. And today our show is really going to be mostly about how we got into this industry called security and some of our experiences. Now, you may experience throughout this particular show, we might be bouncing around a little bit because of the bandwidth, but hopefully we're going to get this right and everything will work out like it's supposed to. So,
Coming to a business near you.
Coming to a business near you. That's right. This show is sponsored by Enterprise Security Consulting and Training, of which I am the president. Pitt is the operations manager. And we are, in the business of providing security services.
Very fluent in it.
And training. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And so, for me, I've been in this business, 30 and some years. And most of you know about my story because I'm always going live on Facebook. So I'm going to let Pitt, while he's drinking his water, now tell you a little bit about himself and how he got into this business. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what we plan to do. We're on the as I would say, and if a friend of mine, Elder Eric Floyd, is watching, he would understand what I'm about to say. We're on the precipice of doing some great things, right, Pitt?
Precipice. That's a good word. I like that. That's a good word.
All right. So, Pitt, tell the people about you.
But I got started 2 incidents. First, I was in school in Virginia. I was 16, and a girl I know was having a party. So I was one of the bigger kids. She asked me to do security at the party. So it was my first time, really doing security. And, it was fun. I throw a couple people out, roughed it up with a couple people. I enjoyed that.
He enjoyed roughing up a few people.
Oh, man, that was nothing. Back in the day, I was a little out there. I had to reel myself in.
And we'll share some of those stories.
And then fast forward to when I was 19, again, still a big guy in the gym a lot. And I was living in Chicago. My uncle owned a bar. And one day I got into an altercation in the bar with a guy, and I got the best of him. So he asked me to work there, and he said I could have 1 or 2 of my friends come and hang out. And we're under 21. We could drink and work and make money. So I started doing that, and I just grew to love it.
Almost like me. So, I'm hanging out in a bar one night, and guy walks up. He says, "Hey, you mind watching this door for me?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be here," And it was like at the end of the night, he came and put $50 in my hand, and then he was like,
Christmas.
Yeah. So then he was like, can you come back tomorrow? Because the guy who's supposed to be here, he's in the military and he's gone or whatever the case may be. And I was like, you gonna give me another $50? Yeah, I'll be here. So let me make sure I got this right. You're gonna pay me to do something I was actually gonna pay you to do, which was to come in this place, watch women, and drink. And now I get paid to do that. Right. That is so cool. So, coming back home, and getting into the bar scene here, it kind of kicked off my career. But at what point, Pitt, did you decide that this was going to be the way you would make your living for the rest of your life?
An important part of my background is younger. I got into comic books. So, you read a lot of comic books. Didn't have the best relationship with, my mom. So I got into my comic books, into the whole hero, the strong protect the weak type of thing. So that's always been in my mind. In high school, I did a tad bit of bullying, but for the most part, I didn't let people get bullied. I took girls to the dance that people wouldn't take to the dance. Partially so somebody would say something, so there'd be some type of altercation, and then partially because why not?
Right. But Pitt, let's go back to something. Why do people call you Pitt?
All right. It's not because I'm a Steelers fan. That's what everybody thinks. It's not because
I actually thought, and I've known you a long time, and I'm thinking that's the reason why.
So I was playing competition flag football with a team. My roommate had a shirt that said Pit Dog. It had sleeves cut off and the pit bull on it. So I liked the shirt. I'd wear it to practice. So I got that nickname, Pit Dog. And then when I got into semi-pro, us that played called it semi-pro, but it's really amateur because we didn't get any money. But we traveled around the country playing teams and everything. So it just got short in the pit. At the same time, I was bouncing like 7 nights a week, and I wanted a barrier between people and myself. The more people think they know you, the more they want from you.
Right.
Or the more they feel they can get out of you.
Yep.
So I just took Pitt from the field into the IRL, and it just stuck.
Wow. And so now everywhere you go, nobody knows you by your first name. It's like I have
That's the other perk.
I have to tell people, and I'm not going to say your first name. For those people who know you, they know your first name. So it's like I tell people, oh, it's him. And they be like, who? Pitt. Oh, why didn't you just say that? Well, I mean, the guy, he does have a government, but so there's someone, you may hear some drumming, somebody is actually rehearsing, and it's coming through my vent. But anyway, so we're in the business of providing security services, and we have worked, between Pitt and I, we have worked in
65 years?
Yeah,
I
right?
got 33.
Right, and I'm just about there, maybe a year, 35, something like that. But, we've been in this business a long time. And so what we bring to this industry is our level of experience, but we understand that there's a level of professionalism. Like you said in the beginning, you used to, you beat a couple people down or up or however you want to look at it, right?
Shake some sense. Just shake some sense.
Just shake some sense. And I think any of us that's been in this business for any period of time, there's some things we probably should have been locked up for, but we learned that we're not supposed to do that, right? How did we used to throw somebody out of a club, right? It was grab them by the seat of the pants, scruff of the neck, use them as a battering ram going out the door.
It depends on how the door was.
Right?
It all depends on how the door was.
Right. So, we literally, threw people out and dared them to get up and do anything. But we evolve, we learn. And so one of the things that we do here at Enterprise Security Consultant and Training is we train security guards. And it's we train from, what I think is a level of experience that people can appreciate versus someone just having a conversation and lecturing you. What do you think?
No, I agree. I would also like to add, back in the day, it's not like it is now. Like, you would throw people out, and they come back a week later, even though you did them dirty, and be like, I'm sorry I did what I did.
Right.
I get back into the club.
Right.
Like, nobody got thrown out was talking about, I'm going to come shoot up the place. I really don't think you can be like that all the time now.
Yeah, no. You definitely, today, you gotta be prepared for that encounter afterwards. And I remember back in the day, Pitt, I'm walking in the mall, and I run into some dude that I threw out the club maybe a month ago, right?
They want to fight.
And they'd be like, yo, that's the dude threw me out the club, right?
Yep.
And they don't necessarily want to fight. They just
times.
want to acknowledge the fact that I threw him out the club. And I'm thinking, okay, what's next? What's next? Do I got to strap up? What's going on? And so now today, things are a lot different. One of the things before we move on, I want to talk about is that Enterprise Security Consultant and Training Incorporated is a licensed, bonded, and insured security guard company. We're actually a licensed private investigator who provides security guard services. So if you are in need, of security guard services, private investigation, or training, give us a call at 585-484-7745 or go to our website at www.esctroc.com, and you can reach out to us, you can email us, you can call us, and we'll be glad to answer your call. So here we are trying to do this business the right way. And I got an idea of where your thinking is. But what do you think about these folks out here today who are brand new to the industry, but yet they want to start a company immediately?
It sounds nice, but there's a lot involved. And to start at the beginning, where are you getting your people from?
Right.
Where are you getting your people from? How are you getting your people trained? Do they understand that they're a representation of your professionalism? So if you tell them to wear black shoes, black pants, and a black security shirt, and they show up in white sneakers, you're already told whoever the employer is that this is how they're going to show up, and then they show up the other way.
Right.
So professionalism is, I don't want to say a dying art, but
you know what? I kind of agree.
Maybe 3 out of 10.
You know, let's talk about that word professional for a moment. You know, for me, and how I define professional in training is a person who subscribes to the technical and practical standards of a profession. So whether you are an ethical value, so whether you are a trash man or an executive, right? If you conform to those standards, then you are a professional. And so, you know, for me in this business, I've always been one to, you know, if I'm moving forward, I'm doing the best job I can, not the best job for the money. And so sometimes we run into people who do what they figure is the best job for the money, and that's not a professional to me. And when we're looking to hire folks, look dead into the camera, we want professionals, right? And here's the thing, you don't have to know a whole lot about the security. We'll train you. We'll tell you, we'll show you what we know so that you go out there and do what we expect. Right? That makes sense?
Yeah. How's this? Remember that Zoom meeting?
Oh, yeah. So what Pitt's talking about, we had to do virtual interviews last year because of COVID. And we had some folks show up to the interview as though, you know, they was meeting their buddy on the block, you know, and so let's help some folks out, right? There's a lot of virtual stuff happening right now. Like we're talking to you virtually, right? So understand this. The interview is still just that. It's an interview. So folks are going to look at you, and even more so because they don't have that access to you. So they're going to look at you in a particular way on Zoom or however the virtual platform is.
I think in this more important, how you look kind of is more important than what you say.
Sometimes.
Because if you don't know to look the part, doesn't matter what you say.
Right.
And I think most employers, if they're looking, they're going to be I think they're looking automatically for things to disqualify you.
Right.
I think they're starting from that, and then as things go on, you know, once you meet that criteria, then they'll start listening to what you're saying. But I think automatically they're looking for reasons to not hire you because, again, you're a representation of their company.
I would agree. And, you know, once you get past the look, for me, it does become about what you say. And for me, I'm very, you know, particular about what people say. And I'm going to understand this. If you say something, I'm that dude that's going to go back and check you out. Right? So you can't just walk up to me and tell me, oh, I've been doing security, you know, 25 years. And you haven't. You just started 2 years ago. Because believe me, I'm the one who's going to go back and be like, let's check the record on this one. Let's see. You know, and that's just me naturally. So, you know, I might check you out. But let me tell you this. So anyone who's interested in becoming a security guard, check out our website, www.esctroc.com. We got a lot of information about, how to become a security guard, what a security guard does, and I can tell you this, in a lot of areas, security guards make a lot of, make I ain't gonna say a lot, but make good money. This has been my career for the last 30 something years. And I'd like to think I made a pretty good living. I have, and I'm still making a pretty good living. So in Pitt, you've been in this, and right now, I'm the safety and security manager for the Catholic Family Center. Where are you at?
I work for the school district. I'm at school number 12. Run operations there for ESCT. I'm also a supervisor out of Darien Lake for the concert venue.
Right.
And I still work at a couple of bars.
All right. So, and I'm trying to get you to stop. I really am.
Hey man, free chicken wings.
Who can turn down free chicken wings? So check this out. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Make sure you check out our channel on Facebook, which is facebook.com/ESCTROC. And on YouTube, we're not live on YouTube right now, but this video will be posted to YouTube. And our YouTube is ESCTROC. Everything is ESCTROC except for Instagram. Instagram is Enterprise Security. So check us out. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you're a security guard, been in this industry anytime, I don't care how much experience you have, and you want to share some of your experiences with us on this show, make sure you reach out to us. You can reach me at oshepard@esctroc.com. And next week when we do the show, I'll make sure our email addresses are available for you, and you can reach out to us that way. You can catch us on Twitter at esctroc.com. Oh, not .com. esctroc. Okay, that's where we are. So we'll be right back right after this brief message.
Security consulting and training. We are doing our part to help you stay safe during this global pandemic caused by the coronavirus. We are now offering virtual security guard training, which will allow you to take our classes from the comfort of your own home. For more information about any of our security guard training classes, go to our website at www.esctroc.com or call us at 585-484-7745. Enterprise Security Consulting and Training.
And we're back. So we do offer virtual training, and Pitt's drinking the water again, But we do offer virtual training for those of you who may not be comfortable right now going out and sitting in a class with other folks. Listen, the coronavirus got a lot of folks shook. And there's nothing wrong with that. We understand. So we offer virtual training. We are licensed. We are certified by the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services to provide training, and they have authorized us to do virtual training. So make sure you go to our website at www.esctroc.com. And again, like and subscribe. Go ahead, Vic.
We also offer first aid training.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're a security guard, and you bring that to the table when you're applying for somewhere,
right,
that's a definite plus in your pocket. The fact that, if somebody goes down, the necessary measures to help bring that person back or help save that person's life makes you more, what's the word?
Marketable. So, here we are, we're doing this thing. Man, Pitt, between you and I, I'm sure we got a book full of stories, right? What's one of those stories that just make you feel good every time you either tell it or think about it?
I know personally, I know that there are people that would routinely tell me wherever I'm working, there's some place that they want to go because they know if I'm there, I'm looking out for the people's best interest.
Right.
So I hear that a lot, and I guess that's my best thing.
Mm-hmm.
That my best accolade is hearing that from people.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I'm hip. I think for me, I've had a lot of experiences, but one of the ones that I think really sticks out for me is when I was working in the school district. I was working in the city schools. And now that I think about it, even in the suburban schools, when I was a director at Penfield, I I run into some of those students today, and I hear sometimes, man, thank you for being there, you know. And it's one particular instance when I was working in the city schools, there was a student who was, you know, considering dropping out. He was a senior and had ran into some roadblocks and was deciding to drop out. And, you know, I was just chatting with him one day, and I'm like, bruh, what's wrong with you? You know, he's telling me his story and what's going on. I'm like, man, you can't drop. You so close. I mean, he was like 2 months out.
Quarter mile left.
Yeah, you're the last quarter mile of the way, and you ready to throw it all in, you know. And he did end up finishing school, and graduation night, he walks up to me and he was like, "Hey, man, if it hadn't been for you, I might not have walked tonight."
Awesome.
Now that was the thing that really, you know, warms the cockles, so to speak. And I think about that often, you know, being able to have that level of impact in someone's life, you know, what we do as security guards, a lot of people think about, you know, the security, the guy from Martin. What was his name? Roscoe? No, was it Roscoe? What was his name?
No, it was
Otis.
Otis.
And we know Otis, don't we?
We do know Otis.
But, you know, a lot of people think about, you know, the Rent-A-Cop or top flight security in the world, Craig.
I hate that.
Right? And here we are, you know, years into this, and I think that we, you know, between the two of us and some of our other friends, have garnered a level of respect that people really trust us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I actually do have a story.
Okay.
I do have a
Go
story.
ahead.
So I was working at this club on Andrew Street, and
We're in the city of Rochester, by the way.
yeah. So this groom's party come in, you know, and they're drinking, and then the bridal party, the females came there. They met there accidentally, so everybody's drinking. So the matron of honor ends up kissing the
groom?
Yes, the groom. Me. Ends up kissing the groom. So there's this big argument. They leave out. They're arguing. They're arguing up the street. He's banging windows. So now we're still at the door listening to all this. They turn a corner. Bam! You hear a loud crash. So I'm listening, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like an argument. And you know, the other guys are like, don't worry about it, it's just arguing. I'm like, I'm gonna go up and check. And I turned the corner, and it looked like a scene out of a movie. There was just so much blood everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, the plate glass that came down and cut him from here all the way down his arm. And his friends, because everybody was drunk, nobody knew what to do, so he was pretty much bleeding out. So I ripped up his shirt, made a tourniquet, and got him at a level position. And the ambulance came, and the ambulance said that, you know, if I hadn't have been there to do what I did, he would have died.
Wow.
And they ended up getting married like the next day in the hospital. But he contacted me when I was turning 49. I'm 52 now. He contacted me when I was 49, and this is how God works. At the time, I was 2 weeks away from turning 49. And I'm like, man, you know, I should have a big house, big car, should be somewhere different in life. And you know, he sent me a picture. I guess they had a newborn that just turned 17, and he was thanking me for 17 years with his kid. And I think, you know, had I not made the choices I made, I wouldn't have been there at that exact moment to save his life. So that's my best feel-good story.
Wow. You know, it's amazing, again, the impact that we have. Just being present, you know? And that's part of what we teach, and you know, as it relates to security. You know, your presence, man, means a lot to folks. And I know some people, particularly when I worked in schools, who basically said, if you wasn't here, I ain't coming to work. I mean, they meant that with everything, you know. What they say, what's the word? Oh, my mama. Right? And so there are a lot of people who depend on security guards. So for any of you folks that are watching us who have a way of looking down on security guards, let me tell you, like I said, there are a lot of people who wouldn't show up to certain places if security wasn't available.
I love it when people tell me you can't take a day off.
Right.
You weren't here yesterday. It was just nuts. You can't
So I remember. Okay, here's a story, and you've heard me say this before. When I first met this guy, I didn't like him. So here we are, Seabreeze. I hope Ron Richardson is watching. All right.
If you are, hi Ron.
So here we are at Seabreeze, and I want to almost say it was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, that's when they got in all the extra people.
Yep, all the extra people. And I think I had tried to make a pitch to you guys, you and Danny, sometime before that about my security guard training. Our school has been open for 23 years this year. And so, and I don't know if I don't think I ever really connected with you guys. So we had a meeting for security at Seabreeze that year, and everybody came together. And I think I know I connected with Danny. Ron connected me with Danny.
Right.
And Danny came to you and said, yeah, this is Owen Shepard. He does security guard training. And you were like, I forget exactly the words you used, but you were like, so I'm told. And kind of walked off. And I'm like, the nerve of this dude. Who is that, right? And he's this big guy who's got this tail, and I'm trying to figure out, who is this Mr. T looking dude? And then we meet up.
No jury, by the way.
No jury. And then we meet up at East High School, 2008. Yep. Right? And, I'm on the second or third floor, and I come down, and you and I have this conversation. I tell you that story, and I'm like, this dude ain't so bad. And we've been friends ever since that moment.
Can't speak to it, but it was probably the heat. I am not a summer person. The only good thing about the summer is riding my motorcycle, and that heat just makes me... I'm actually better now that I've gotten older, but back then I used to hate working anywhere in the summer, and Seabreeze was just murder. That pavement would kick that heat up. Right. It was like being in the oven.
But I think we were just there for a meeting that time. It was before the actual detail. We were just all meeting, because it was a let's go over what we're going to be doing for this, and God bless his soul, Dino Page, man, I miss this dude, because everybody, man, who worked, Seabreeze, we all kind of worked together at some point through, Seabreeze, War Memorial, festivals, whatever. So you always came into contact. Huh? OGs. Right. OGs. So, I mean, but just the fact that, we went through that transition, and then you were the best man in my wedding, and here we are. So, for some folks, they don't understand, man, that the relationships, the networking, that can come about. There are folks, I had somebody sitting in my office, that I worked for years with at War Memorial. I had a couple of them. And just kicking back and talking about some of those days, Gary Stern is a guy, I miss him. He's living the retired life now. He may even be watching.
I remember Gary.
Yeah, Gary was the dude, man. If you want to do security in a lot of different events, it was Gary. I'll tell you who else. Chip from Ed Sareski from Metropolitan Entertainment. I worked for Metro for about 4 or 5 years, I think it was, doing shows everywhere. Man, you begin to rattle off some names. There's a few names who ain't here no more. Remember Roman? Roman worked he worked in the school district, but he worked at the War Memorial and a lot of other stuff. Yeah. He looked like Show Nuff from from Last Dragon. I mean, just to think about all those folks that we came into contact with, you know, and people who kind of mentored us. You know, some folks who's like, listen, I know you're a young buck, and I know you want to get into the mix, but this ain't about that. You know what I mean? And so that's the knowledge that we try to impart to people now. You know, it's not about that let's run and gun. You know, and I look at some of the younger folks coming up now. You know, they're getting into the industry, and I'm thinking, man, you know,
you wouldn't have survived back in the day.
You'd have run out of steam after the first weekend. You know, so we are reaching our time. We've actually reached our time. We're at 31 minutes. So we're a little over. So the show is meant to be like a 30-minute show, and we're going to be live on Tuesdays. And if for whatever reason we can't be live, we will pre-record our show. But make sure you like and subscribe to the Security Guard Show. And check out the hashtag, and I'm going to be posting it to Twitter and rebroadcasting it here on Facebook as well as on YouTube. And listen, if you have any questions that you might want to ask about the security industry, please feel free. This is what part of what this show is about. It's about interaction, and we thank you, Patricia Marshall, for viewing the show with us today.
I'm squinting because I scratched my eye when I put my contacts in, so I don't want anybody to think I'm winking at you or something.
Well, if you're winking, you're winking at a total number of people.
Everybody, though.
Right? Well, yeah. But they might think you high. They might think you high because weed's legal now.
No, not for me.
And you know what? That's gonna have to be a part of our next discussion because I know.
That's a rabbit hole.
Is it ever? You know who we need to have on the show? We need to get Jim Shepard on the show.
Ooh.
Because he's going to have some interesting insight about marijuana in schools.
I'm no interest in it. Just like you can't drink alcohol in school. Even if you brought in Advil, it's got to go to the nurse's office in order to be given to you.
Right, but
so
I know
just because weed is legal doesn't mean you bring it in school.
This is true.
You can't bring a beer.
But what happens if somebody smells like marijuana?
That's why there's a new code of conduct out, which I haven't read yet.
Right, and we don't want to speak for the school district, even though you are an employee. We don't want to speak for the school district.
No,
we're not doing that. So maybe we'll invite Shep to join us in one of these sessions, and we're going to be bringing on other security professionals. I'm a member of American Society for Industrial Security, ASIS, and I'm a member of the Rochester chapter. So we're going to bring other security professionals in to talk about their experience. As is. Yeah, that's it. As is. And so I'm also, I'll talk about professional memberships next time around. But thank you for joining us. I don't have an outro, so this is just going to be a cold out. But make sure you like and subscribe to this. And look forward to us being here next week. Man, we got so much stuff to talk about. Time went for it really quick.
Yeah, it did.
Right? So take care. Be blessed. Be safe. See ya.